Hey there, welcome to the Proud Animator YouTube channel. So in this lesson we are going to learn how to animate a double bounce walk cycle. So let's start. So this is a double bounce walk cycle. You might have seen this kind of walk cycle in lots of 1930s or 1940s animated TV shows such as Mickey Mouse or Tom and Jerry or something like that. So in this particular walk cycle, the character's body bounces 2 times in a single step, as you can see. So we are going to divide the frames and let's compare each of the key poses with a normal walk cycle first. Then we are going to discuss that what would be the spacing between each of the key poses. And also in the next lesson, we are going to learn how to animate this double bounce walk cycle inside of After Effects. Also stay tuned for that as well. Okay, so let's begin our lesson. So these are the key poses of a normal walk cycle and these are the key poses of a double bounce walk cycle. So for both the cases, there are 2 contact poses in one single step. So these are the contact poses of each of the walk cycle animations. So in both these cases, the one thing that's similar is the leg. So for the foot, the one foot is on the heel and one foot is on the toe. And similarly for the legs, one leg is totally straight and one leg is slightly bended. So the next pose after the contact pose is the down pose in a normal walk cycle. Now here is the difference between a normal and a double bounce walk cycle. So after the contact pose, there is an up pose in a double bounce walk cycle. But here in the normal walk cycle, after the contact pose, the body tries to recoil. So for that, it goes down. But here in double bounce, after the contact pose, the character tries to lift up the body, and here is an up pose after the contact pose. Now the next pose in a normal walk cycle is a passing pose, similar to here as well in double bounce. But here is the difference, which is the height of each of the passing poses. So for a normal walk cycle, the body slightly rises up compared to its contact pose, but here in double bounce, the body is at the same height compared to its contact pose. Now after the passing pose, there is a up pose in a normal walk cycle where the body pushes the ground, and then comes another contact pose where the first step completes. Similar to there is a similar thing that happens in a double bounce walk cycle as well. So there is another up pose and the height is similar to the previous up pose. So after the up pose, the body then settles down to its contact pose. So this completes a full step of a walk cycle, and after that again same key poses happens for the other step to complete the whole cycle. Now let's focus on the hands or the position of the hands in each of the key poses. Now in a normal walk cycle, the hands are at its extreme on the down pose, but here in the double bounce walk cycle, the hands are at its extreme in the contact pose itself, and after that the hands are closer to each other when they are in the passing pose, and the similar thing is there in the double bounce as well. So the passing pose is kind of similar, but the difference is the height and the position of the hands. You can see that the hands are not wide open in the double bounce, whereas the normal walk cycle it's wide open. So there is another difference in the normal walk cycle and a double bounce walk cycle. Here it's just closer to the chest because it tries to balance out each of the key poses. Okay, so this is the basic comparison between a double bounce and a normal walk cycle. Now let's focus on at which frames we need to put the key poses in to get a proper walk cycle. So now specifically focus on the double bounce walk cycle. So the first contact pose will be on the first frame, and the second contact pose, which completes the whole step, will be at the 13th frame, and in between we need to put the 2 up poses and 1 down pose. So the first up pose, which is after the first contact pose, will be at frame number 4. Then the second up pose will be at frame number 10 before the second contact pose at frame number 13, and in between at frame number 7 we need to put the down pose. So this is how you can animate a proper double bounce walk cycle. Now after the 13th pose, you can just repeat it again to get the whole walk cycle animation. So a typical walk cycle animation for if you are animating it in 24 frames per second would be around a second. So that is how you can animate a double bounce walk cycle. Not only that, in the next lesson, we are going to learn how to animate a double bounce walk cycle while animating it in After Effects. So stay tuned for that as well. Alright, so that is it for this lesson. Hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from it. So if you liked it, then make sure to hit the like button. If you have any doubt regarding the lesson, make sure to comment down below. I will be happy to help you out. And if you are here for the first time, make sure to subscribe the channel and hit the bell notification button to stay notified for all the future updates. Until then, goodbye.